In China, where the emperor was a Chinese and all the officials were Chinese, as you probably know, there was a story. This story happened a long time ago, but that and number 39. Why it has to be told so people don't and number 39. Forget. The emperor and number 39's palace is the most beautiful in the world, made of a very precious porcelain, but fragile, every time it is touched. Must be light-handed and light-footed. In the royal garden, all kinds of rare and exotic flowers are grown. The most beautiful flowers must wear silver bells so that visitors can pay attention when they come to see them. The garden is meticulously maintained and spread out, even the gardener does not know where it ends. The more you go, the more interesting things you encounter. Tall, glossy trees stretching out, vast and deep lakes. The forest slopes gently into the sea. On the blue water large boats can glide under the shade of the trees. Here there is a nightingale that often sings enchantingly. A poor fishing boatman was filled with so much worry as he tried to spread his net as he passed by, and when he heard the birds singing, he had to stop and listen. He shouted, and quote, "Oh my God, how holy it is!" And quote, but then he was so engrossed in work that he immediately forgot about the bird. The next night, when he spread his net over there, he heard the birds singing again. He stopped to listen and shouted again, and quote, "Oh my God, how holy it is!" and quote. Visitors from many countries around the world flocked to the royal citadel. They praised the royal palace and royal garden. But when they heard the nightingale sing, they shouted in unison, and quote, "This is a miracle." And quote, returning to their homeland, they recounted what they had seen and heard. Many scholars have written books praising the imperial city, royal palace and royal garden. But people praise the nightingale the most. Famous poets have written masterpiece poems to praise the beautiful nightingale singing in the forest by the sea. Books were spread everywhere. Some books fell into the hands of the emperor. He read attentively, many times nodding in appreciation of good passages praising the imperial city, royal palace and royal garden. Reading further, he saw a passage that read, and quote, "But the nightingale is truly magical," and quote. The emperor was surprised. "What is this? A nightingale? Why Don and number 39, we know. Is it true that in our country, moreover, right in my garden, is there a bird like that? I and number 39, they never heard of it before, how strange." The emperor called the mandarin a high-ranking mandarin. Every time someone below came to report or request something, he would only reply curtly, and quote, "Huh," and quote. The emperor asks, "Here it seems there is a bird that people call a nightingale. People believe that this bird is a rare bird. So why hasn't and #39 anyone told me yet?" End quote. The mandarin replied, "Your Majesty, I myself have never heard of it and have not seen anyone bring it to me. So I must bring it here tonight. Sing for me. Everyone knows about my treasure, but I don't and number 39 know it." Quan Ti Lang said, "Your Majesty, I have never actually seen that bird, but I will definitely go find it." "We'll find it. But where to find it?" Quan Ti Lang climbed all over the Purple Tower, through all the palaces and roads, asking everyone she met, but no one knew anything about the nightingale. Quan Ti Lang returned to the emperor. "Your Majesty," he said, "perhaps the book has deceived readers. Please do not believe it. This is just a myth." The emperor said, The books I read are the books of the emperor. The gift sent by the Japanese emperor, could it be a fabrication? I want to hear the nightingale sing tonight. I will reward the bird with many favors. If the nightingale cannot be brought, the whole court will be punished. Stepped on his stomach after eating a full meal. Quan Ti Lang bowed to the emperor and left. Then he ran back and forth, climbing up and down, all over the Purple Tower, into all the rooms in the palace, searching every corner. Half of the court did the same, because no one wanted to suffer the crime of stepping on them. Belly. It was clearly a frantic race to find a bird known to everyone except the emperor and courtiers. Finally, they found a little maid. "Oh my God!" The little girl cried out, "Nightingale! I know. It sings very well. Every afternoon, I bring leftover rice to my sick mother. When I come home tired and rest in the forest, I can hear it singing." At those times, I felt so happy that I shed tears like when my mother hugged and kissed me. Quan Ti Lang said loudly, "Very good, baby. Take me to the nightingale and number 39's place. I will give you a position in the kitchen and allow you to see the emperor in court. I need to go now because tonight I have to bring birds to sing for the emperor." Half of the court followed the little girl into the forest where the nightingale sang. Along the way, I suddenly heard the sound of a cow bellowing, and a villager shouted, "It and number 39's a nightingale." What bird is so loud? I think I and number 39's. They heard it somewhere before. The maid said, "That and number 39's not true. Cows roar. We still have a long way to go." Later, there was the croaking sound of a bullfrog in the pond. The French monks in the court also followed the group and shouted, "It and number 39's a nightingale." It sounds so holy. The poor monk has never heard such a beautiful bird song. The maid said, "That and number 39's not true. That and number 39's a bullfrog." Going a little further, the maid told everyone, "Be quiet and listen. There it is. It and number 39's a nightingale," the maid said and pointed to a small gray bird perched on a tree branch. Quan Ti Lang was surprised. "That and number 39's a nightingale? I thought it was beautiful, right? Its fur looks so ordinary." Or was he afraid in front of all the courtiers and turned pale? The maid called out, "My dear, the emperor wants to hear the nightingale sing." "Very pleased," the nightingale answered, and let out a beautiful, mesmerizing song. The mandarin praised, "It sounds as clear as crystal music." Her pretty throat kept rising and falling. But I and number 39's, they never heard a nightingale sing, which is a shame. Entering the royal palace, it will surely be warmly welcomed by the court and the royal family. Thinking that the emperor was present, the nightingale asks, "Do I have to sing again for the saint to hear?" The mandarin said, "Wa am I?" "Yeah. Please follow us back to the palace to sing for the emperor. My singing in this forest, under this canopy, is the best." The nightingale said so, but when she learned that the emperor wanted her to sing at the emperor and number 39's palace, he also willingly followed. At the royal palace, people had prepared a solemn reception. Thousands of golden lamps shone brightly on the dragon yard and on porcelain pedestals. The porch is filled with rare flower pots and silver bells ring every time the breeze blows. In the middle of the palace, where the emperor resides, there is a golden tree branch for birds to perch on. The civil and military officials gathered in full force. Even the maid, newly ordained as a chef, was allowed to hide and listen behind the door. The mandarins were all dressed in formal clothes, attentively admiring the gray bird chirping on the yellow branch. The nightingale sang so beautifully that the emperor was moved, sobbing, tears streaming down his face. The man was very pleased and ordered to wear a golden badge around the bird and number 39's neck to reward him. But the nightingale refused and said, "This is already an honor for me. Seeing the little emperor and number 39's tears when he heard me sing was a great blessing to me." The nightingale once again sang softly and poignantly as if to give thanks. The ladies whispered to each other, "No more. There and number 39's, nothing better than that." Some women even put a little water in their mouth and softly hum in their throat to imitate the sound of birds. In my mind, I thought that if I did that, the women and number 39's voices would turn into that of a nightingale. Even the maids, and the most demanding guests all warmly praised the nightingale and number 39's singing voice. This way, the nightingale would win over the whole court. The family and royal family praised it. The emperor gave the nightingale a red-painted cage to hang in the palace. The bird was allowed to go out twice a day and once a night. Every time the bird goes out, it is accompanied by 12 mandarins, each holding a thread tied to the bird and number 39's leg. The nightingale was not interested in this kind of trip. The whole capital was excited about the bird. Everyone who gives birth to a child wants to name them Nightingale, even those with hoarse voices. One day the emperor received a package sent to him with the words "En quat, wa mi en quat" written on it. The emperor opened the package, thinking it must be a book about the nightingale bird. But it and number 39's not. Inside the package was an artificial nightingale, identical to a real nightingale, covered in diamonds, green jade, and red jade. Every time you turn the engine on, the bird sings like a real nightingale, its tail waving, shimmering with gold and silver threads. The nightingale and number 39's neck wears a necklace with the words engraved on it, and quote, "I am the nightingale of the Emperor of Japan. I am not comparable to the nightingale of the Emperor of China." End quote. The whole court shouted, "Great! Emperor!" The emperor gave the person who carried the false nightingale a high position and rewarded him. Someone in the court asked for the two birds to sing together, to hear a duet between the two wonderful nightingales. People tried but failed. Yes, because the real nightingale sings in its own way, while the fake nightingale sings in 3 rhythms. The music master defended the mechanical nightingale, saying that it sang without error, very in tune, and I often taught in class like that. Hearing what the music master said, people made fake birds sing alone. It sings very beautifully, just like a real bird, and it and number 39's also beautiful. When it sings, it sparkles like a diamond. It can sing 30 times at the same time and it and number 39's still good. Listeners Don and number 39's get bored and still want to sing. Listen again. But the emperor ordered to let the real bird sing for a while. But looking forward and looking back, there was no real bird. It turned out that while everyone was engrossed in listening to the fake bird sing, the real bird flew back to the green forest. The emperor was stunned. So what? The officials looked angry and accused the bird of being ungrateful. There were also people who comforted them like that, but they were lucky because they were able to keep the best one. So the fake bird had to sing again. There was a song that it kept singing over and over dozens of times. The music master was full of praise for the mechanical bird. The mandarin asserted that it is superior to a real bird, not only because it has beautiful feathers but because of its talent. Your Majesty, the music minister presented to the emperor with a real bird. No one can know it. What song will be sung? But with the mechanical bird, the songs are arranged in a certain order. Every time you turn on the machine, the songs will sing one after another. Just take the machine apart and see how the wheels are arranged to understand how the machine moves and how the singing sounds. Everyone agreed with the music director and number 39's opinion. The emperor said that the people must be heard. The mechanical bird sang, so on Sunday, the music master brought the mechanical bird for the people to listen to. When the people heard the nightingale sing, everyone praised it. After each song, everyone pointed to the sky, shook their heads and said in quote, "Oh," in quote. But there was a poor fishing boatman who had heard the nightingale sing many times and said this, "Quite nice. It really looks like a nightingale. But it sounds like something is missing. So the real bird has left the palace." The mechanical bird was given a unique position. People placed it on a brocade cushion, next to the king and number 39's bed, surrounded by stars, jewels, and gold that the bird was rewarded with. It was given a noble title by the emperor. Regarding the position of the court, birds are ranked first, on the left, which is the highest rank in the court. Attorney General Kwong wrote a 15-chapter book praising the mechanical nightingale, with erudite and sublime words. Everyone who read that book nodded to show understanding, so as not to sound ignorant. After a year, the emperor, his court, and the whole country all memorized the songs sung by the mechanical birds. One can sing along with the birds. From the emperor to the little boy on the street, everyone knows how to sing. It and number 39's really good. But one day, while the mechanical bird was singing for the emperor, suddenly there was a sound that hit the bird and number 39's stomach. It seemed like something was broken, the wheels rotated wildly, and the bird stopped singing. The emperor called the royal physician to check the bird and number 39's pulse and treat it. But the royal physician refused because it was not within his expertise. The court had to call in a watch repairman. The watchmaker took apart the machine and examined it, saying that the wheels were very worn and had no replacement. It can only be reinstalled for temporary use, and the birds can only sing once a year. Hearing the news, people across the country were shocked. The sound of the mechanical bird and number 39's singing now sounds sharp, but the music master still insists that the mechanical bird and number 39's singing is still as melodious as before. 5 years later, the people of the country heard bad news. Their beloved emperor fell seriously ill and could not be cured. The court has chosen a successor. People flocked to the mandarin and number 39's palace to ask for news. The emperor was pale and cold in his bed. The mandarins of literature and martial arts thought he had passed away in confusion, and fawned over the new king. At that time, the emperor and his maid had fun, enjoyed chatting and drinking tea. The poor emperor was dying, he was barely breathing. Feeling something pressing on his chest, he opened his eyes and saw death is smiling at you. The god of death took off his crown, with one hand holding a gun and the other holding a royal flag. From the folds of the veil around the bed, strange skulls emerged. There are some that look hideous, and some that look benevolent. That is the Emperor and number 39's merits and sins appearing while death weighs heavily on people and number 39's hearts. Do you remember? Do you remember, King? The skull questioned the king and number 39's sins one after another. They told countless crimes, making the king sweat and cry out, "But I Don and number 39's know about those things?" Then he shouted, "Play the music. Shake the drum. I Don and number 39's want to hear the ghost and number 39's words anymore." The ghost and number 39's face remained impassive, and the angel of death still shook his head. The emperor shouted again, "Cunhac. Play music quickly. Dear yellow bird. Let and number 39's sing. Sing. I will reward you with gold, silver, jewels, and a golden card. Sing. Sing loudly." But no one turned on the machine, so the birds remained silent. As for the angel of death, his eyes were still open and empty, staring at the emperor. At that moment, a wonderful song sounded from outside the window. The little nightingale flew back from the green forest and perched on a tree branch in the garden. Hearing that the emperor was seriously ill, the bird flew back to bring him vitality with its song. The nightingale and number 39's song rang out, the ghost gradually dissipated, and blood circulated again in the king and number 39's veins. Death also had to be silent before the nightingale and number 39's song, then encouraged, "Just sing." "Wha am I? Just sing. Okay. But must give back the golden sword and crown to the emperor." After each bird song, the god of death gives back a treasure. Birds continued to sing, praising the peaceful scene in the cemetery filled with fragrant flowers and strange grass. Death, unable to hold back his desire to return to his garden, turned into a cloud of white flowers and flew through the window and disappeared. The emperor shouted, "Thank you, bird. Thank you, dear bird. I have recognized the nightingale. I accidentally let the bird out of the palace, but the bird still returned, helping me chase away evil spirits and save me from the hands of death. I will never forget that grace." "Wha am I?" replied, "The king has given many rewards to birds." With tears in his eyes, the little king heard the birds sing for the first time, and the birds never forgot that scene. For a singer, there is no gold or jewel as precious as it is. Now please let the emperor rest in peace so that the nightingale can sing for the listeners to recover quickly. Then the nightingale sings again, and the emperor falls asleep again in a peaceful restorative sleep. When the dawn light shines through the window to the dragon bed, the king woke up extremely refreshed. There was no one around, because they were confident that the king had passed away. Only the nightingale was still chirping alone next to the emperor. The emperor told the bird, "From now on, the nightingale will always be with me to sing for me, and I will smash the artificial limb into 100 pieces." The nightingale hurriedly "Can, please Don and number 39's do that, king. The mechanical bird has done its best, so keep it. As for me, I and number 39 am not used to living in the palace. Please allow me to return to the forest. In the afternoon, I will fly back here, perch on a tree branch, in front of this window to sing for the king. Birds will sing about the lives of those who are happy, but the lives will be the same as the lives of those who suffer. Birds will sing good and bad things from people around the king. The song of this little nightingale will reach the poor fishermen, the impoverished farmers, to places far away from the emperor and the court. The nightingale respects the king and number 39's heart more than the throne, even though the throne is a sacred manifestation. The bird will come, will sing, but only asks the king for one thing. Whatever the bird wants, I will grant it, the king said. And stood up, clutching the jewel-encrusted sword to his chest. The bird only asked your majesty one thing. Not to tell anyone that your majesty had a little bird that told you everything. That way everything will go smoothly. After saying that, the bird took off and flew away. At that time, the courtiers entered. They were assured that the emperor had passed away. But everyone was surprised to see the king stand up, turn towards them and say, "Hello. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.